Hello everyone, welcome again to online session of Manolaw classes. I am Dinesh Kumar and I am former assistant professor of law at Campus Law Center, Law Faculty, Delhi University, and presently I am working as an academic head of Manolaw classes. So dear students, in today's session I will discuss with you one of the landmark judgment of Honorable Supreme Court, that is Keval Krishnan versus Rajesh Kumar and others. But before moving to the main discussion part, there is an important announcement for all of you. Admissions are open at Manolaw classes for the upcoming batch of 2022 and 2023. All of you may get yourself enrolled with us for getting the best result. And for more information, you can dial the given number on screen, that is 9971444054. So this is the latest judgment of Honorable Supreme Court dated on 22nd November 2021. Dear aspirants, the date of CLAT 2022 exam is May 8, 2022 and the date of CLAT 2023 exam is December 18, 2022. So prepare yourself accordingly and wish you all the best. So in this case, today I will take the reference of two sections, and section number 1 is section 2D of Indian Contract Act. It defines the consideration. So now we understand what is the meaning of term consideration. So consideration has been defined under section 2D of Indian Contract Act, and according to this section 2D, consideration means something in return. So suppose that when one party has contract with the other party, then one party gives something to other party and other party gives something to the first party. So this giving something which has some value in the eyes of law is called consideration. For example, I want to purchase your bike in rupees 10,000. So I will give you 10,000 rupees. So this is the consideration from my side, and after taking the 10,000 rupees, you will give me your bike. So that bike will be consideration from your side. As far as section 54 of Sales of Goods Act is concerned, it defines the term sale. So basically, what is sale? Sale is a contract in which one party agree to sell his goods to the other party for consideration. So consideration means something in return which has some value in the eyes of law. So now we come to the facts of this case. So dear aspirants or dear students, what happened in this case? In this case, appellant Keval Krishnan and his brothers, who is one of the respondent, acquired the joint properties, and that property is the subject matter of dispute in this particular case. So this property was bought by them on 12th August 1976 and 19th October 1976. The appellant Keval Krishnan executed a power of attorney in the favor of his brother Sudarshan Kumar on 28th March 1980, and when the appellant Keval Krishnan executed the power of attorney in the favor of his brother Sudarshan Kumar, then on the basis of this power of attorney, Sudarshan Kumar executed two sales deeds in the favor of his two minor sons, and second sale deed was in the favor of his wife. The consideration amount of sale deed which was executed in the favor of his two minor sons was rupees 5,500, and the other sale deed which was executed by the Sudarshan Kumar in the favor of his wife, and the consideration amount of that sale deed was rupees 6,875. So in this case, appellant instituted two suits against the two respondents. One were the Sudarshan Kumar and his two minor sons, and in the other suit the parties were Sudarshan Kumar and his wife. And the contention on the part of appellant was that since Sudarshan Kumar has executed sale deed in the favor of his two minor sons and his wife, so he has done something wrong, because Sudarshan Kumar is not only the absolute owner of the suit property, rather Keval Krishan and Sudarshan Kumar both are the joint owner of the suit property. So, appellant requested from the Honorable Court that Honorable Court should give the injunction against Sudarshan Kumar, and Sudarshan Kumar should not be allowed to interfere in the possession of the appellant in the suit property or the said property. Second point was that appellant Keval Krishan also requested to the Honorable Court that the power of attorney and the sale deed which was executed on the basis of that power of attorney both should be declared as null and void, because since Keval Krishan is also the joint owner of the property, so Sudarshan Kumar does not have the right to execute the sale deed in respect of that said property or suit property. Now, first of all, the matter went to Honorable Trial Court, and Trial Court dismissed the suit of appellant Keval Krishan, and Trial Court held that Mr. Sudarshan Kumar was the exclusive owner of the property and the sale deed executed by the Mr. Sudarshan Kumar was valid. So, against the decision of Trial Court, Keval Krishan approached to District Court, but Honorable District Court reversed the decision of Trial Court and held that Sudarshan Kumar is not alone the absolute owner of the property, rather both Sudarshan Kumar and Keval Krishan both were the joint owner of the property. Now, aggrieved by the decision of Honorable District Court, this appellant approached to Honorable High Court, and Honorable High Court reversed the decision of Honorable District Court partially and held that Sudarshan Kumar was the sole owner of the suit property and Keval Krishan, who is the appellant in this case, was not the owner of said property. Now, aggrieved by the decision of Honorable High Court, Keval Krishan, who is appellant in this case, approached before Honorable Supreme Court, and now the main issue before Honorable Supreme Court was that whether Sudarshan Kumar is the sole owner or absolute owner of the suit property, or whether Sudarshan Kumar as well as the Keval Krishan both were the joint owner of the suit property. So, in this case, appellant Keval Krishan forwarded two contentions on his behalf, and the contention number 1 on the part of Keval Krishan was that he contended that he is the co-owner of the suit property and he made power of attorney in the favor of his brother Sudarshan Kumar, but Sudarshan Kumar made the further sale deed on the behalf of that power of attorney in the favor of his two minor sons and his wife. So, the power of attorney and the sale deed in pursuance of that power of attorney must be declared as null and void. So, Keval Krishan ने कहा कि उसने अपने भाई सुदर्शन कुमार के फेवर में एक पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी की थी और सुदर्शन कुमार ने उस पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी के बिहाफ पर वो सूट प्रॉपर्टी अपनी वाइफ और अपने दो माइनर बेटों के नाम कर दी। दिस इज रॉन्ग, ये गलत है, क्योंकि वो भी इस प्रॉपर्टी का जॉइंट ओनर था। तो जब वो उस प्रॉपर्टी का जॉइंट ओनर था, सो सुदर्शन कुमार डज नॉट हैव द एब्सोल्यूट राइट in this given situation to transfer the whole property to his wife or minor sons. Second contention on the part of appellant Keval Krishan was that since he is also the owner of the property, so he should be allowed to maintain the possession of the suit property, and an injunction order should be issued against the respondent, that is Sudarshan in this case, so that Mr. Sudarshan is not able to interfere in the suit property. So these were the two contentions raised by the appellant. Now we come to the contentions of respondent. So respondent raised the following contentions in this case, and respondent Sudarshan first contended that at the relevant time he was employed in Muscat, and from Muscat he remitted a lot of money in the account of appellant Keval Krishan, and Mr. Keval Krishan, who is the appellant in this case, was unemployed at that point of time, and the suit property was purchased out of the money which was remitted by the respondent to the appellant in this case. So the suit property was bought out of the money which he remitted to the appellant, so he is the absolute owner of the property. And this appellant Keval Krishan in this case, with the mala fide intention, also incorporated his name in the document of the property. Second contention on the part of respondent was that appellant Keval Krishan voluntarily executed the power of attorney in the name of this respondent, and by virtue of this power of attorney, respondent can become the absolute owner of the property, so he has every right to dispose of this property. So every right to dispose of this property means he can transfer this property in the name of any person, including the name of his minor sons and his wife. And this power of attorney was properly executed as per the provisions of Indian Registration Act. So if this power of attorney was properly executed according to the provisions of Indian Registration Act, so this power of attorney is valid, and all the decisions taken on the behalf of this power of attorney are also valid. Now the next contention on the part of respondent was that he is the real owner of the property, so he has every right to dispose of this property, or he has every right to take any decision with respect to this property. तो उसने कहा कि क्योंकि वो प्रॉपर्टी का एब्सोल्यूट ऑनर है और उसको जो प्रॉपर्टी दी गई है that has been given by way of power of attorney, so if the Keval Krishan has given power of attorney, he become entitled to take any decision with respect to that particular property. उसका ये राइट हो जाता है कि उस प्रॉपर्टी के बारे में कोई भी डिसीजन ले. Now we come to the decision of Honorable Supreme Court. So Honorable Supreme Court, after analyzing the contentions of both the party, came to the following conclusion, and Honorable Supreme Court held that since respondent in this case, that is Sudarshan Kumar, he could not give any sufficient evidence that he remitted the money to the appellant in this case, and the suit property was purchased with that money. So Sudarshan Kumar इस केस में कोई एविडेंस नहीं दे पाया कि उसने पैसे एपिलेंट को भेजे और ये जो सूट प्रॉपर्टी है ये उन्हीं पैसों से खरीदी गई. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकंड पॉइंट वाज दैट रेस्पोंडेंट सुदर्शन कुमार सोल्ड हिज सूट प्रॉपर्टी टू हिज वाइफ एंड 2 माइनर सन. सो रेस्पोंडेंट सुदर्शन कुमार ने अपनी सूट प्रॉपर्टी को अपनी वाइफ और 2 माइनर सन को बेचा, बट ही कुड नॉट गिव द एविडेंस दैट they were having any source of income. So he sold this property to his sons in 5,500 rupees and to his wife in 6,875 rupees. अब ये सेल है तो इसका मतलब क्या है, there should be consideration in it, and the consideration amount is 5,500 and 6,875 rupees. So but neither the minor sons of the respondent and nor the wife of the respondent was having any source of income. So question was that from where they have taken this money. It means that there was no consideration in the sale deed, so the sale deed is also void. And finally, on the basis of these evidence, Honorable Supreme Court came to the conclusion that appellant Keval Krishan and the respondent Sudarshan Kumar both are the joint owner of the suit property, and Mr. Sudarshan Kumar is not only the absolute owner or the sole owner of this property. तो इस केस में ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि इस सूट प्रॉपर्टी के वो दोनों भाई केवल कृष्ण और सुदर्शन कुमार दोनों ही जॉइंट ओनर हैं, और केवल सुदर्शन कुमार ही उस प्रॉपर्टी का जॉइंट ओनर नहीं है. सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. I will come again with the next landmark judgment of Honorable Supreme Court. Till then, thank you very much. Please take care of yourself. Goodbye.